All right, today we're getting into something really powerful. And honestly, it's a pretty tough message to hear. It's all about radical self reliance, and it boils down to one single kind of scary idea: you are on your own.
Okay, let's just dive right in with the quote that this whole thing is built on. This isn't just about growing up in the traditional sense. This is about a massive shift in your whole perspective. Think about it. That safety net you always kind of figured was there? Well, this is about that moment when you realize it's not. It's gone. And the only one left to catch you is you.
And once you have that realization, well, it forces you to face a pretty hard truth. Yeah, it's a tough pill to swallow for sure. But, and this is the important part, this is also where real freedom is supposed to begin. And here it is, plain and simple. No one is coming. I mean, it's blunt, right? But it's so essential. We all have that little voice in the back of our head, don't we? The one that's hoping for some miracle, some hero to ride in on a white horse. Well, the idea here is you gotta shut that voice down because it's all on you. So, what does that actually mean day to day? Well, it means there's no personal drill sergeant coming to your door. Nobody's gonna show up to tell you to turn off the TV or force you to go to the gym. That business plan you've been thinking about, no one's gonna write it for you. Every single one of those things, yep, that responsibility is 100% yours.
Okay, so if no one else is going to push you, then that push has to come from the inside, right? And this leads to a really powerful concept. It's this idea of parenting yourself. Think about it. It's about building your own internal parent, the one that makes you do the stuff that's good for you, not just what feels good right now. It's making yourself do the hard things, the necessary things, especially when you'd rather do, well, anything else. It's all about choosing that long-term dream over that short-term comfort. And this right here is what total accountability is all about. Look, it's not about blaming yourself. It's about realizing where your power is. If you can accept that your decisions and your habits got you to where you are right now, that also means you have to accept that your decisions and your habits are the only things that can get you out. Now, when you start to accept this level of responsibility for everything, it often kicks off what's described as the lonely chapter. And yeah, it's a phase of growth that's just as hard as it is absolutely necessary. And this is where the whole idea of loneliness gets flipped on its head. See, we're all taught to stick with the pack, right? Where it's comfortable, where everyone's cheering you on for just doing what's normal. But if you want to be exceptional, that path is almost always a lonely one. So that feeling of being an outsider, of being ostracized, the argument here is that it's not a sign you're messing up. It's actually an indicator that you might be doing something right. And this leads you right into what's called the messy middle. You know what that's like? It's that super isolating time when you've started to change, so you don't really fit in with your old friends anymore, but you haven't quite arrived at who you're trying to become yet. You're just stuck in between. And man, that is a deeply uncomfortable place to be. But here's the thing. That isolation, it isn't just some painful phase you have to grind through. No, this is where the real work gets done. The stuff that actually forges your character. Think about this number, 99%. That's how much of the truly important work happens completely alone. When nobody is watching, there's no applause, no one's encouraging you, no one's patting you on the back. It is just you and the work. So what does this unseen work actually look like? Well, first, it's sacrifice. It's cutting out the noise, the distractions, the comforts. Then, it's endurance. I mean, really pushing yourself to your absolute limit. And here's the kicker. You're doing all of this with absolutely no guarantee that it's going to work out. And on top of it all, you have to be the one asking yourself that brutal question every single day. Did I do enough? And here's the payoff of all that. This work you do alone, it's not just about getting better at a skill. It's about literally forging a new identity from the ground up. You're building this Frankenstein of a person, something new, pieced together by sheer will, something so incredibly tough and self-sufficient that it could only have been built in the dark by you and for you. Okay, so finally, let's get to the why now, because all of this ends with a really powerful and really urgent call to action. And this just lays it out so clearly. The bars are always open. The distractions, the parties, the easy way out, that stuff will always be there. It never goes away. But you know what's not always open? That window of opportunity, the chance to actually go after your dreams. That has an expiration date. And that leaves us with this final, kind of haunting question. When it all comes down to it, the only person you have is the one in the shadow, that person walking beside you. So, are you cool with that walk? Are you okay with that being your only companion? And maybe more importantly, are you building a person that you'd actually be proud to walk with?